Yeah, the defense shut out in the second half. 7 consecutive possessions by Washington State that they did not score. And this is without, for much of the game, 2 of the best defenders. Safety Kalen Bullock had to leave the game in the second quarter after a targeting call, and Shane Lee did not play at all. And still, they were able to go out there and, after a couple touchdown drives early in the game, dominate.
Yes, and Tuli Tuipulotu made a big-time statement for USC in this game. 3 sacks. He was a beast. He significantly changed the outcome of the game. And we have to say, one of the big questions that USC answered in this win over Washington State, what happens when the opponent does not turn the ball over, right? We brought this question up. What happens when the opponent doesn't throw 4 interceptions? Like that happened in 3 different games. Rice, Stanford, and then Chance Nolan. Those were 3 interception festivals for USC, just grabbing all these interceptions to, send that turnover differential skyrocketing to the very top of the charts in the FBS. Well, Washington State didn't turn the ball over. So what happens? You have Tuipulotu getting all these sacks. You have USC's defense making negative plays, tackles for loss, and also another hidden aspect of this game that didn't get the banner headlines, USC special teams, which were bad for most of the season, played a lights-out game. Washington State started inside the 10 on a punt and on a kickoff. Dennis Lynch makes all 3 field goals. Raleek Brown returned a kick beyond the 25-yard line. That was something that USC analysts and insiders were going, wow, we actually returned a kickoff past the 25? Hitting all the marks on special teams, USC got a lot of hidden yardage in this game, and that's why it was able to win, even though Washington State didn't commit a turnover. So you're seeing more dimensions of this team emerge, more ways to win a game, more ways to figure everything out. And of course, all of this happened, Mark, under a context of more attrition. Shane Lee did not play, the transfer linebacker from Alabama, and Cortland Ford did not play at left tackle. USC's offensive line still well below full health, full capacity. You saw Mason Murphy very briefly in this game. Bobby Haskins was generally able to hold things down at left tackle, but he got slightly dinged up once again. And then you had the ejection to Kalen Bullock over a BS targeting call. And some people are going to say that, the targeting was correctly called. And, I know that the letter of the law is, when in question, it's a foul. Like that is the officiating point of emphasis. Well, again, I think that's BS. Like when in question, it's automatically a violation. What the hell kind of standard is that? And of course, ejection should be for malicious dirty hits. That was not a dirty hit. That he was trying to drive through the ball. And again, I think it's a BS call because he hit the right shoulder pad. Like, did the helmet touch the Washington State receiver? Yes, but it wasn't just he was launching his head as a missile. His arms were extended. If you see that play again on replay, his arms were extended. He's driving through the defender, hitting the right shoulder as the first point of impact. To me, none of that is targeting, but I understand why and how the rule is enforced. But anyway, big picture, beyond the targeting call, Kalen Bullock was a really good part of this secondary as a safety. And right after he gets ejected, Anthony Beavers, his replacement, he gets torched. This is one of the only long balls that USC's secondary has given up. And it was because Kalen Bullock wasn't in there. And so you think, like this is where the house falls down. This is where the architecture crumbles, because you lose that extra piece in the secondary on top of missing Shane Lee, on top of missing Cortland Ford, on top of missing your other pieces on the offensive line. This is where the season is going to stumble. This is where you're going to step into a pothole, and USC is going to be that 9-3 team that the skeptics predicted before the season. Anthony Beavers didn't have another really bad play. Didn't get torched on another long ball in the second half. Now, of course, most of that was because Tuipulotu was just sacking everybody left and right. And you also had Tyrone Taleni also getting in on the action, and Solomon Byrd. Those 2 guys are really the unsung heroes of the defense. They're the worker bee grunt guys on the defensive line who aren't going to get the national publicity that Tuipulotu has been getting and will continue to get. But they've been in on a lot of negative plays. And without those guys, Byrd and Taleni up front, you probably don't see this full product that the USC defense has become. So it was a real next man up kind of win, and that reinforces the cultural transformation Lincoln Riley has made at USC.